What's going on, everybody? I'm Terrence, and this is Bank Shipping. Good morning. Hopefully everybody's having a good morning so far. And like always, if you ain't up, go ahead and get up and start that grind. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend, fun weekend, safe weekend, all that stuff. Had a lot of fun with the family this weekend, son's football game. Got a lot of stuff done. Even, I don't know if y'all can see here, even cleaned my hat. Soaked it for a couple hours, came out pretty good, so now I actually look like a truck driver and not a mechanic. So we are here at the first stop of our 2-stop load. That was that ugly 53-foot load. So we're gonna get out. Forklift drivers knocking on my door, so we're gonna get out, unstrap, get unloaded. I'll be back with y'all. insulation. 48-foot load. All the same stuff going to all the same place. One pick, one drop. Loads in the morning, or sorry, delivers in the morning. I know you guys are probably like, man, all this guy does is haul the same stuff. For the most part, I do. I only haul this stuff for the most part, but it would be nice to haul some other stuff every once in a while, but you know, this is what pays the bills, so I ain't gonna complain not one bit. But got back to Kingspan to get loaded and pulled around the corner, and there was trucks lined up, so I already knew it was gonna be a long wait, and it was. I got there about 12 o'clock, and it's 5 o'clock, you know, and I just left about 5 minutes ago. So it was a long wait, but you know, you get paid detention. Sometimes, you know, detention, it still stinks, because I'd rather be home or doing something else other than sitting around waiting to get a load. But that's part of the game. But it wasn't too bad, you know. Some guys there that I knew, one of the older guys that's been hauling out of there for years, you know, he's always in there when I load, most of the time. So, you know, we just sat around in the little gazebo area that they got, and we just shot the breeze. Another guy that I know, another buddy of mine, he came in, and haven't seen him in a while. So, you know, it was good to catch up with him. He's got a beautiful truck, by the way, beautiful 379. It's actually the truck that y'all will see in the cover photo for this video. You know, pretty blue, got a big, I forget what his sleeper is, but a big old studio sleeper, custom motor, custom interior. The floor's chrome, the dash is chrome. He got blue lights all in it. You know, looked like a nightclub in the back of that thing. But beautiful truck. But it was nice to catch up with him. So, you know, even though we had to wait for a long time, you know, it was good to catch up with some good folks. So I ain't gonna complain not one bit. But we back home, back at the yard. This goes in the morning. It goes to a place that I absolutely do not like, because A, their receiving hours don't start to 10, and then not only does their receiving hours not start till 10, they take forever. You know, it's on a little back road. You go there, there's not room for trucks to set. So if you go there and there's another truck there, you got to turn around, go back out the way you came, and go to the Wawa that's up the road, sit around and wait for them to call you. Then they call you, you come back down, you know, you go ahead and unstrap, and it still takes them forever to unload you once you get there. So hopefully we don't have that in the morning, because I need to get unloaded, turn right back around, come right back to Winchester, and get reloaded for Wednesday. So fingers crossed that everything goes smoothly in the morning. So until then, I'll catch y'all later.
Made that money on a Monday.
back at the yard. Finally. Got that load dropped off up in Darlington, Maryland this morning. Pretty much without a hitch. I mean, they don't start receiving until 10 a.m. And then if you're there early, it's like on a little backcountry road. There's no room to park. They pretty much come out of their gate, take a skid off, go back in their gate. So there's no room really for trucks to set. There's a lot of, more than one truck there that make you go back to the Wawa, blah, 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 all that stuff, and call you to come back. So I showed up about 9:15, hoping and praying I was going to be the first truck, and lo and behold, I was the first and only truck that showed up at that time. So I used that time to unstrap everything. So then by 9:45 or so, the guy was like, "Oh, we'll come out and get you, at 10 o'clock." I was like, all right, no problem. So 10 o'clock, they told me pull up to the gate. They started unloading me, as you guys saw. It took about an hour for them to unload me. Normally places aren't that slow. So the unload was pretty slow. From the time they actually told me to pull up to the time they got the last skid off. Because I sat there for about 20 minutes before they actually took the first skid off after they told me to pull up. But that's fine, I got it off. I got back here to Winchester to pick up my other load for the morning. So it all worked out. So we're back at the yard, like I said, get ready to shut her down for the night. We'll get back at it in the morning. But before I get off here, man, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about backhauls. What's the best way to get backhauls? What should you charge for a backhaul? Different things like that about backhauls. So I've talked about it in brief before, and I'll do it again. In my personal opinion, this is just my opinion, so don't kill me for it. But in my opinion, there is no such thing, none, zero, no such thing as a backhaul. A load is a load. A shipment is a shipment. It don't matter where it's going. So therefore, there's no such thing as a backhaul. A load goes from point A to point B. It don't matter where point A is, don't matter where point B is. A backhaul, the term backhaul is just something that people came up with to make it seem like it was appealing because this load was taking you back home, so they figured, oh, it could be cheaper. No, get that out of y'all's head, man. Get it out of your head, because what's a backhaul for you might not be a backhaul for me. A load coming out of Winchester going to New Jersey, you from New Jersey, that's a backhaul for you. But it's not for me. That's a normal load. So you start taking these loads for cheap back to New Jersey because it's a backhaul. What you think that's going to do to me? People going to start saying, oh, well, we had somebody take it for this much last time. It was considerably less. Now, y'all know I don't care. I run for my rates, and my rates are only. I don't stoop down to somebody else's level because they want to run shorter, cheaper rates. And if somebody wants somebody else to run cheaper rate for them, then by all means go ahead. I won't take the shipment. But I don't do backhauls. I don't care if it's dropping at my front doorstep. It's going to cost you the same. And everybody should have that mindset, because let me tell you something. Repairs and maintenance don't get no cheaper just because you're going home. Insurance don't get no cheaper just because you're going home. Your time ain't less valuable just because you're going home. Fuel ain't no cheaper just because you're going home. So if those variables, which is usually the variables that you use to depend or to negotiate what your rate is, that's what you find out. Insurance, repairs and maintenance, truck payment, trailer payment, fuel costs, all that stuff is what you use to find your bottom line, how much it costs to operate your truck per mile, and then you base your rate off of your operating costs. So if your operating costs don't vary no matter where you're going, why would you vary your rates just because it's going home? It don't make no sense to me. Now, a lot of people may disagree with me and say, oh, well, it's at least paying for fuel, all this stuff. Cool, it's paying for fuel, but what if your tire blows on the way home? then what's that load paying for? The fuel or the tire? Because it probably ain't paying for both if you're taking it for cheap. So that means you got to come out of pocket for it. See what I'm saying? So get that mindset of backhauls can be cheaper out of your head, because they can't. Well, I'm not going to say they can't. I'll take that back. I recant that statement. They can be a little bit cheaper. You may have, okay, I'll give a little bit of wiggle room just because it's taking it back to my house, taking me back to my hometown. Or even these guys who are out here saying, well, I took this $1-a-mile load because it got me to a better place. I got a better load from this $1-a-mile load. Well, what happens if you break down on that $1-a-mile load? Now you got stuck with a $1-a-mile load and you miss your other load. You could have just did hit it and saved all that time. You know, because when you take something for $1-a-mile just because it's a backhaul, well, if you get to the shipper and they take you all day, you done burnt up all your day at the shipper and driving and at the receiver, or you miss your receiving appointment because the shipper took all day. These are all things that y'all gotta think about when you're talking about backhauls. Not just backhauls, everything. You know, like me, I'm local. People say, oh, well, it's only going 100 miles. Yeah, and that 100 miles, by the time I get to the shipper, by the time I drive the 100 miles, by the time I sit there and get at the receiver, that's a full day. So I'm gonna charge you for a full day. So y'all gotta know y'all's worth, man. Stop talking about these backhauls and I can take it for $1-a-mile because it's a backhaul, it's going home, it's paying for fuel. That's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Brokers love the guys to talk about, oh yeah, it's a backhaul, I can take it for that. Oh, they love you guys. Brokers are probably the ones that came up with the term backhaul, because it makes it appealing to somebody going, oh, it's going to take me home. Don't fall for the trick, man. Don't fall for it. Stick to your guns. If the load is paying $2.50 a mile and your bottom dollar is $2.60 a mile, yeah, I can understand that. I can understand taking that on a backhaul. But if your minimum is $2.60 a mile and they want you to run it for $1, why do it? Why do it? Let me know down in the comments what y'all think about backhauls. Do you do them? Do you not? Do you take money off? You know, I know people do backhauls, you know, or get themselves out of a bad spot. But do you do it for cheap? And how cheap do you do it for? Do you got, you know, okay, I'm not going to go under this for a backhaul? You know, how do y'all do it? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you think about, are backhauls a true thing that you can go for cheap? And do you do it for cheap? I'd like to see these. So, but we're gonna get out of here. Hope everybody has a good day, good rest of the day. Mine's almost over. So as always, stay prayed up, grind hard, and stay humble.